The transformation of the automotive industry is still ongoing, and it changes the way how automakers and their partners create value. So open source software has become an integral part of development and helps to fuel innovation. More and more OEMs are not only using open source software, they are also contributing. I guess that's right, Wolfgang, right? Thank you. And the Eclipse Foundation embraces all that growing automotive open source software projects and activities and deliver here a vendor-neutral framework. So welcome to my talk about driving the automotive industry into the future with open source. Please don't forget to rate the session later on. So who I am? So I am Andy. I'm working for the Bosch Group since 26 years, and thereof 16 years as a software developer in the embedded area for several projects and products. And I'm also a senior software architect for the software-defined vehicle, and I'm a co-project lead for Eclipse Autoworks and Eclipse Velocitas. And my interest is to bring the automotive industry further, to bring more open source into the automotive world, and let's make a little bit business out of that, because we have to earn money at the end. As you really see, yeah, you are here for that. You saw that maybe also yesterday in the community day, open source has really arrived in automotive. I have here some small examples with me. So GM open sourced here some services for their for the software-defined vehicle under the Eclipse umbrella, and the software. So I'm often asked that, what about the serious production of that? And they use that next year in one of their vehicles, which will then be on the road. Then, of course, Wolfgang, thanks for that. Daimler here is a real role model for that, brought the open source manifesto to the game as a blueprint for other companies like Continental, which rely on that manifesto, as well as ETAS. And the next one will be, I know that, out of the Robert Bosch GmbH, but we are currently working on that. So it's not really finished, but not only the subsidiary of Bosch, the complete Bosch group at the end. What are the strategic focus areas of the Eclipse Foundation at the moment? So we have on the one hand the cloud native Java, with a collaborative environment for Java. Then the famous Eclipse IDE, we heard also in the keynotes a little bit about that. We have IoT and Edge, and please forgive me, you can call also some automobiles like an IoT device or an Edge device, depending on that. But today we focus on the automotive stuff, to collaborate here in an open, sustainable, transparent way to bring here the technologies and standards forward. The Eclipse Automotive framework consists on 3 main pillars. Means we have the automotive working groups. Also, one of the interest groups is part of that. Then we have automotive projects, and they are clustered in a so-called top-level project. And we have the Automotive Project Management Committee. So I will explain that a little bit later in more details. So coming a little bit to the automotive working groups, I included also the interest group here in there. So we have here a short overview about OpenMDM, dealing with measurement data. We have OpenPath, we have Open Mobility, and we have the software-defined vehicle. So OpenMDM, no fear, I go not too much into detail, and I won't read everything on that, but you can have that also to study that a little bit later, because I will publish all the of course, this slide, because we are open. Yeah, OpenMDM provides you an ecosystem with tools, with systems, with qualification kits, and adapters around the ASAM ODS standard. They have some requirements for development. They deal with generic business object models, some software components. They ensure the open innovation, fosters some exchange between academic standardization organizations and automotive partners, and they are providing some methods and best practices. Then therefore, we have OpenPass. So just before there was an OpenPass talk. Not sure if anyone participated in that. So if not, if yes, then you will have here a little bit of a recap. So OpenPass is more or less dealing with a project called OpenPass. It provides here a software platform to simulate some traffic scenarios. Some safety relevant aspects are also investigated. And they have here a flexible multi-agent simulation in there. So the next one is open mobility. So we have the open mobility experts right here. It's Robert and Michael. Thanks for participating here. So I hope I give you the right overview or the right summary. So open mobility deals mainly with the adoption of mobility modeling and simulation. Development towards a real mobility framework. So yesterday we had also in the community day talk or short intro into mobility operations. So everyone knows DevOps, SecDevOps, and now we have one more, mobility operations. And that's real good. Then some interface specifications and of course promotion and marketing of the topics. Then we have the software-defined vehicle working group. Software-defined vehicle deals with or provides here an open technology platform. Automotive grade means automotive has some special requirements on safety, on security, on some further standardizations or some audits like ASPICE, CMMI and so on, but also using some open standards like the vehicle signal specification, which come out of the COVISA standardization organization, so to speak, and to help support here a real great community. So what's in if you are in the automotive area of the Eclipse Foundation for you? You can, of course, use the existing work, which is really there. So often I'm not knowing if this is a German engineering stuff, but often the engineers tend to reinvent the wheel second or third or fourth time. And here you have the possibility to use such things which are there. So it's no need to reinvent the wheel a further time. And often I hear some colleagues, okay, this solution fulfills 90% of my requirements, but not 100%. Okay, then I will do it by my own, because then it's really good, instead of using the 90% and build their own 10% on top of that. We have here some contributions. We have participation in different things, in working groups, for example. You can share your IP if you like. You can create here an open platform for software quality. You share the costs because things are there, you can use that. And if everyone participates and contributes to projects, then it's cheaper for everyone at the end. And the quality is, of course, also higher because a lot of people do some reviews, look into the code and so on. You can accelerate the development speed, of course, and you can leverage here the open collaboration. So now we come to a real big number of automotive projects. So from my point of view, But first, just a short explanation how the Eclipse Foundation is dealing with some projects. Means we have here some contributors who bring in their code. We have some pull requests. They want to bring it into the GitLab, GitHub, or just Git. The committers within the projects, which are initially appointed and elected throughout the project, they will push or accept the pull requests. They resolve here some issues. And of course, they are doing some code management, the plan, the next releases, and so on. And the PMC, the Project Management Committee, is responsible for the governance to see if this is everything is in scope. So here, the top-level projects clusters here some open source projects and has a own charter. It has also, of course, the Project Management Committee, which is elected, so to speak, from the Eclipse Management Organization. And with the topic or the tasks to have an overview about the projects, if the governance is right, if the scope of automotive is here correct, and so on. And this is the topic, this is the task of the Project Management Committee. So the leadership within the project is we have some project leads for the technical leadership. We have them as interface person, so to speak, between Project Management Committee and the Eclipse Management Organization. And as mentioned, the Project Management Committee is responsible for the approval of the IP and the contributions and the releases, and also contact persons towards the EMO. And the EMO, of course, it's responsible overall for the governance, consisting of the Eclipse Foundation staff, and they have also an architecture council which helps in different topics. So here's the overview about Eclipse Automotive projects. For example, we have here an example application for adaptive AutoSAR. We have a light service to showcase here some lighting concepts. We have Andreas as a container orchestration for high-performance computing. We have App4MC with an Amalthea model for tools and tools for migration validation. We have an architecture tool. We have a door. So yesterday we had also an impressive talk about that because I was not really aware of that they can really drive with this stack in a real vehicle, so really impressive. Eclipse AutoWorks is an open source implementation, often part of Digital Auto. The backend function bindings will be merged right now. BlueG is an extension to systemd. Chariot, a gRPC service, Chloe, and middleware for simulation purposes. Then we have eCal, a communication abstraction layer. Heimlich as a software, hardware security module firmware. Ibeji as a digital twin representative or service. Cuxa, who provides here an implementation of the COVISA standard, means the vehicle signal specification or partly or part of that. Then LEDA as an image with an Yocto built in there so that you can really easily start to build your software-defined vehicle applications. Then the LEDA incubator, where you have an experimental platform, so to speak. Then OpenMDM. MOIC will also be merged in AutoWorks. Mosaic as a co-simulation environment for autonomous driving. Muto with an adaptive framework and a runtime platform based on ROS. OpenMCX as a co-simulation framework. OpenPath, the simulator for the OpenPath working group, OpenXIL environment, the lightweight hill environment, P3Com, middleware for communication, SCM, so it's a real new project, the stochastic cognitive model for traffic simulations hosted by OpenPath. Then we have the SDV blueprints to combine all the stuff from, to build from several pieces of puzzle the big picture, and to bring that together, that it works seamlessly, so to speak. Developer console for the lifecycle management, some R, some IP implementation in Rust. Sphinx, a modeling tool platform. Sumo, part of the open mobility interest group, dealing with simulation of urban mobility. Tractus X as a POC project from CatenaX. I hope it's right what I wrote on that. MUT protocol, a transport agnostic communication protocol, and Velocitas as an end-to-end development platform, which provides you some templates that you can easily start developing your vehicle applications. And more projects will come. So if you have someone, please, we are open for every project. Then some words again to the automotive top-level project. These are the current top-level projects at Eclipse. It's automotive, cloud-native Java. Then we have IoT and Edge, language, modeling, OSGI, runtime, specification, testing, and tools. But today we had a look on, or we'll have a look on automotive. These are the current projects which are under the hood of, or under the umbrella of automotive. And here's some numbers. So since last year, we have 55% more projects, in total numbers 12. We have 6 more active member companies. Active in this case means which have a contribution into an automotive project. And one working group we lost last year. To be honest, this was mine. I changed position, so therefore we had some problems, so to speak, to find a successor for me. But nevertheless, the projects or the ideas were moved to other working groups, so nothing is lost. Also, I'm here, so I'm also not lost, and therefore, I continue in other ways around. So a little bit about the history of the automotive PMC. So we started in 2021, so we are real new, and you see it also here in terms of the participation in the community day. So looking back here some years ago, I will show you later on some pictures about that. We started really in the smallest room here at the EclipseCon, and then I guess we had that 2 times. Then came the Corona break. Then last year we had a bigger room, and this year we had the same room here, so really the biggest room, except the theater. But for the community day, a real good achievement. And since then, we are active and try to oversee the governance of the automotive projects. So the mission of the top-level project is to provide here a space for automotive, for mobility, for transportation-related open source projects. For, of course, the mobility of the future. So the scope is developing, managing, promoting, supporting of applications, frameworks, runtimes, middlewares, and models. For all the topics I mentioned before, traffic and transportation planning, autonomous driving, simulation, and communication protocols. To compress that a little bit. So our tasks are to approve here the IP and release stuff. We supporting here or have the last vote, so to speak, on committer and project lead elections. And our communication will be done via the Automotive PMC mailing list. So if you have any questions on Automotive PMC, so please use the mailing list therefore. So these are currently the members. Yeah, Michael is also here. So we have two of the Automotive PMC, as I see it correct, currently right in here. So we also provide here, or we are trying to do that, a website for that. Currently it's under construction, so you can just use the link. So yesterday we had there some issues, but now it works perfectly again. Here you can see the entry point or the landing page for the automotive top-level project. In the top right, you see here the links then to the project charter, to our wiki site, and to our website. And of course, you can see more information about active member companies and the links to the related projects. So here I have collected all the links. So we are currently also doing a kind of transition regarding the wiki side. It will be moved to GitLab in the future, and we are currently on the way to do that. So now I came a little bit to the outlook. So this is the picture of last year of the Automotive Community Day, and here are the screenshots of the agenda we had. So you see, really full packed, and this is the picture of this year. Again, the agenda increases, the participants increases, so the automotive community is really growing, and that's really great, because looking back some years ago, let's say 10 years, if you talk with some automotive management guys about open source, they say, you are crazy. No way that open source will end up here in some vehicles. But GM, do it that right now. Next year, it's one example. We have also some further open source things in vehicles right now. Yeah, more to come, of course. What we are currently also doing, so we have a lot of automotive working groups. We have a lot of automotive-related projects. And the Eclipse Foundation is providing much more. And now it's the time to bring that things together, to make a kind here of an automotive landscape, like that one, just one step back. And we meet every 4 weeks to find things, synergies, things we can collaborate on, and to bring things forward. To end up here in a kind of an automotive landscape where we try to bring all the single solutions, the single parts, the single software projects together to build here a kind of a software stack which is running. Because then it makes really sense, then it will drive or get more drive than we have at the moment. We have a lot of drive, but this will be maybe a rocket then. So just to sum up a little bit, the Eclipse Foundation provides here a framework for open collaboration for the automotive industry, or for the complete mobility part. And it consists currently of 4 automotive working groups with 30 plus automotive software-related projects clustered in top-level project. We have the Automotive Project Committee and some automotive-related events like the Community Day yesterday or some SDV special community days. And I'm real sure the future of automotive is software-defined and it's open. So let's collaborate. Let's drive the automotive industry into the future with open source, and let's build the future vehicles, nevertheless if it's a car or something else. But let's do that, and I invite you. Do you have questions? There's one question, yes? That is a good question. So just to repeat it a little bit, the question was, if I understand it right, if I see the possibility that we have also some open source projects which includes the safety, right? So from my point of view, maybe yes. So it depends if that will be a future unique selling point, the safety part. But I'm sure currently the automotive projects which will build from automotive companies, they are developing in the safety way. But as you mentioned, it could be currently the commercial asset to have the safety artifacts not in the code or not in the project itself. But you never know what will happen in the future. So I'm really sure that for non-differentiating projects, also the safety part can be part of the project. If this answers your question. Further questions? Yes? Yeah. Active use in so I heard some more aspects than one. So I understand you asked for the influence of the automotive top-level project. That was one aspect. So yes, I see this because all the projects are not made especially for open source. So the reason is they have it, they use it, and now it was the step to bring that to the public. Because everyone thinks this is necessary for others, and therefore, yes, they do that. Yeah, for example, Velocitas, it's a project started by ETAS, and they use it internally. And currently, it's brought to the SDV community. It will be used here for some blueprint activities, and therefore, I can just say what I can see at the moment, not knowing if other ones use that now also internally. GM, the Mu protocol, of course, they announced it that they used that in their production vehicle. Chariot is also currently used, at least in some POCs, I know. Yeah. You're welcome. Yes? The, yeah, just a second. Now it should, yeah.
Okay. If a new company wants to adopt open source as a strategy, there are majorly 3 points that hinder this entry. One is sustainability, profitability, IP. For example, when I say sustainability, how long can I keep open sourcing my work, which involves effort, money? Second is profitability. Once I open source it, how do I now build business model and monetize that software stack which is open source? Third is if I have some IP, background IPs connected with that product, how does it get protected? And also, foreground IPs should also be protected moving forward.
Yeah, these are really valid questions. So for example, let's try to start with the IP stuff. Or with the, what will be the best one? Okay, let's try it with IP. It could be also strategic to open source IP. And open source does not mean that you throw away your IP. It's still your IP, but you allow others to use that. It's also the part to earn money with that, or to earn money with open source. So you have to rethink a lot of things, because you are right with exactly that product. To sell the software itself, it's not possible anymore because you open source it. But you can bring some services on top to that. You have to change your business models. You have to provide you some services around that, like integration, like, as you mentioned, the safety stuff, and so on. So it's a complete rethinking of how to earn the money, how to bring in your IP, and so on, yeah. And sustainability, so there are some examples out of the aerospace industry, where some companies have to pay, I guess, 3 times for the same tools. The first time when they buy it by the tool vendor, the second time when the business model changed due to some company merging, and the third time when they realize, okay, for the new company it's not profitable anymore, and they skip it away. So therefore, for such companies, open source is really perfect, because then, as you know, information which is in the internet, they will stay long. The same for open source. It's published, everyone can use it, and therefore it's sustainable from my point of view.
Does it mean that from a company we open source certain version of the product and then build on top of it, which could still be proprietary, and then open source plus proprietary layers becomes a product which is our own, which can be monetized?
Yes, this is one aspect you can do, yeah.
But does it mean that the proprietary layers that we build, which could be functional safety, which could be security, which could be quality gate certified layers, does it mean that even those layers has to be open source, or it can still be proprietarily kept it inside?
Not sure if I get it completely. If you think, or what also is possible, you can open source not the complete software, just a part of that. You can have additional parts on that which are proprietary. You can have the additional services on that, like security, like safety, for example, or make that safe together with the customer at the end. These are all valid models you can achieve.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Further questions? If not, then thank you. I'm also here the next days.